Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 11 starts now.
A loss for the ages.
Cam Johnson with the pump fake. Into the corner, Finney Smith. Oh!
History made tonight at Little Caesars Arena. The Pistons lose a NBA record 27th straight game. All right, thanks for joining us. I'm Karen Drew.
And I'm Damon Fernandez. You know, despite a close game, the Pistons fall into the wrong side of history tonight. The team has not won a game since October 28th. That's almost 2 months ago.
It's not surprising. Still hurts. Our team coverage begins with Candace Davis-Price. She's in for Birdie tonight. I mean, I guess we can say when is the streak going to end, but we have no idea.
And I wish I had a crystal ball to say that.
They had a lead, right?
They had a little bit of a lead.
And
they got a little hot, so.
And then they didn't.
Yeah. So new year, new team?
Okay.
Next year?
What? Help us.
All right, Little Caesars Arena had a great crowd on hand for tonight's matchup. Rick Mahorn bobbleheads were given out pregame, and the Pistons donned their Bad Boys tribute jerseys. And still, they were unable to put up against this dreadful losing streak. As they start out, Jalen Duran returns from injury, but it was all about Cade Cunningham tonight, putting his team on his back, playing every single minute in the second half. This nasty crossover and layup brought the Pistons within 2. But with 1 minute remaining, on the next possession, the Nets forced them out of position, and Dorian Finney-Smith drains the dagger three-pointer, 118-112. The final score, 27 straight losses, a new NBA record.
I'm sure the players don't want that attached to the name on the jersey. And was it, heavy? It's been heavy for a while. It's just the nature of this kind of losing streak. And, it's not going to change because we're grading the level of it. We got to do what we got to do to change it.
I commend him. It's tough to get in front of a room full of press and have to keep your head up, and even in the locker room, we don't know that dynamic, but he touched a little bit on Cade and saying what a leader he was and how positive and upbeat he is. So later on, we'll talk about that.
I was going to say, you as an athlete, give me the inside of the mind here, because at a certain point, it's just so hard to overcome. What are they thinking?
Absolutely. If you can get that team to rally, then you take these few steps backwards, it will be giant. It'll be like that 0-16 team, but everyone, the team, the ownership, the management, you got to take time and patience. It takes time to build. It's literally brick by brick.
We appreciate it. We'll check back with you a little bit later. Right now, we're going to head out to LCA, right?
Yeah, that's right. Jacqueline Francis is joining us tonight with reaction from a lot of, I can guess you say, disappointed fans out there. Hi, Jacqueline.
Hi, this is not the kind of history you want to make. The Pistons fans going home crushed tonight as their team sets the record for the longest losing streak in NBA history.
Brooklyn Nets get the win, and the Pistons fall short once again.
Unfortunately, we made history.
Pistons fans are singing the blues.
Losing streak reaches 27.
Monty Williams, that's too much money. Give us half of it back.
Filing out of Little Caesars Arena as the team clinches the title for the longest losing streak in NBA history.
I think that they suck and they need to sell the team.
With their 27th loss in a row.
This is hurtful, honestly, because I'm a Pistons fan. This is hurtful. They're sucking right now. Bad.
The team hasn't won a game since beating Chicago in their home opener all the way back on October 28th.
I think they can break the skin on Saturday, but they're just having a bad start to the season.
After the record-breaking loss, fans sharing some words of advice.
Most people want us to sell the team, and I'm kind of inclined to agree and get a new head coach and maybe start from the ground up. They kept fouling and losing the ball. The whole crowd just sell the team, sell the team, sell the team.
But that's a big, big loss of possession.
A lot of people kept saying, hey, at least the Lions are good this year. So that's the silver and Honolulu blue lining here in Detroit tonight. Reporting live outside of LCA, Jacqueline Francis, Local 4.
Still sounds like folks trying to be optimistic. Thanks, Jacqueline.
As we saw people coming out of LCA, nobody was too bundled up. It was a very nice night, taking a live look above Campus Martius. It was a very crowded evening on the skating rink, and as the folks celebrated Quanza.
I went out there today, and people tonight still had their sweatshirts on, no jackets at all. Hey, let's get over to Brett. He's in for Kim Adams tonight. Brett, things going to be changing a little bit.
Yeah, we've got rain moving in. That's going to be followed by some colder temperatures, and then, sure enough, let's face it, we're due for this. Some snow later in the forecast. As for right now, keeping a close eye on exact track 4D radar, as there is some light to moderate rain moving through parts of Sterling Heights down towards Inkster, Riverview, Flat Rock, seeing some of that light rain also stretching out into parts of Washtenaw County in and around the Ann Arbor area, Rockwood down towards Monroe as well. There's more rain to the south moving up, so that's why we keep rain chances in the forecast for the rest of tonight and even tomorrow morning. On top of the rain, we are seeing some low visibility. There is a lot of low-level moisture, so some fog or some light drizzle is reducing visibility in spots. So tonight, tomorrow morning, a couple of raindrops, maybe some fog, could make tomorrow's commute a little bit slow in some spots. But following that morning rain, we should dry out during the afternoon for at least most of the day. But more rain is expected this week. We'll talk about when in just a bit.
We're seeing a few, Brett. A Good Samaritan right now is recovering after getting shot in the head while witnessing a violent car crash in Garden City.
Yeah, this happened this morning at Ford and Vinoy. You can see the shooter chase the Good Samaritan into a gas station after already shooting him out front. Police say that shooter was involved in a crash with another driver. 37-year-old man was later confronted by a Garden City police officer outside the gas station and killed. We spoke to that Good Samaritan from his hospital bed tonight.
He was like, you about to die. And I don't even know this guy. I don't know him at all. And he was like, that look on his eyes, looked like he was on something. He looked like he was on something. And he kept on, he pulled out a gun again. And the gun definitely got jammed. I think that gunshot in the ear, I just tried to put my glass on and it's shot off. So it was right there where my ear was, where it went through. So this cheap plastic might have deflected it a little bit.
Wow, what a horrific story. The other driver, he's in the hospital, listed in stable condition. Michigan State Police are going to take over this investigation. It's really unclear right now if the officer has been placed on administrative leave. We'll be following this for you.
The man charged in the murder of a local Jewish leader will be in court tomorrow. 28-year-old Michael Jackson Bolanos faces felony murder and other charges in the death of Samantha Wall. Investigators say the murder happened during a home invasion back in October. There's no indication the two knew one another and no indication this could be a hate crime. If convicted, Jackson Bolanos faces life in prison. Well, for the second time in as many months, we're learning of a data breach exposing the information of Corewell Health patients.
This time, it involves Health EC. It's a Corewell vendor whose stated mission is to identify high-risk patients, close gaps in care, also recognize barriers to optimal care. It is separate from that breach announced in November involving a different Corewell vendor called WellTalk. This breach affects more than 1 million Michigan residents. According to the Michigan AG's office, compromised data may include names and addresses, birth dates, social security numbers, medical record numbers, and perhaps most disturbingly, medical information like diagnoses, conditions, prescriptions, and health insurance information. Letters were mailed out December 22nd to those affected by this newest breach. Health EC is offering a year of free credit monitoring and identity protection, which is outlined in that letter. Today marks the first day of a week-long celebration of Quanza.
Yeah, the name comes from a Swahili phrase which means first fruits. Metro Detroit is gathered throughout the area for special Quanza events. In Cadillac Square, dozens gathered for the lighting of a 30-foot Kinara. Our Victor Williams is live at a Quanza ball happening right now, actually the first of its kind in Highland Park. Habari Gani, Victor.
Oh, yeah, no job. Yes, Jamon, it's going good right now, as you can see. The celebration, the very first of its kind, is underway. It's not showing any type of sign of slowing down. But even still, while the celebration is going on, everyone's embracing the principles of Quanza.
We just kicked it up. We said, you know what, we need to have some grown folk fun.
The first night of Quanza's festivities ended Tuesday night at the Tuxedo event venue in the first ever Quanza ball taking place in Highland Park. Community leader Mama Shu is the one in charge.
We've collaborated with Alkebalon Village and Avalon Village, A2V2, and we just brought something very upscale and beautiful and cultural for the community to enjoy.
You ready for it? Let's holler. Now! Meanwhile, just a few hours earlier, records were broken with the lighting of the world's tallest Quanza Kinara in Campus Martius.
It's been 60-some years now that Quanza has been practiced, not only in the United States, but now all across the world. And so it certainly is apropos, I think, that we are now downtown, part of the central city, and allowing the full community to be a part of this tradition.
Prior to that, performers got to showcase the creativity of drums and dance.
The energy and the community, the way how we talk with the drums and the way the dancers talk with their feet, it was just magical.
Something that I've been doing for years, and it just lifts your spirit, makes you feel good.
As the days progress with each principal night by night, each one has a specific meaning for the community. Tonight's principle is Umoja, which means unity.
We need unity in the world more than we need unity right here in Detroit. There's things happening around the world that shouldn't be happening. People dying in places they shouldn't be dying.
The night's still young and open to everyone.
I want to let everybody know that they can still come on down if they want to.
That's right, you still have time to get down here. We have a little under an hour left. It's going to be $75 to get into the door, but still, a lot of folks would say that it's worth the price. Live in Highland Park tonight, Victor Williams, Sloan.